Hello everybody, Gisele Grenier here. In this video lesson, we're going to be doing a buy versus DIY video on transparent yellow iron oxide. And it's a color, whenever I use that in a mixed media piece, people just like, the comments is how beautiful this color is. Never mind of the piece, it's the color that people are obsessed with. For me, it's difficult to find because we're so limited on art stores in the area. I'm one of those people that likes to touchy-feely when, see the actual paint swatches face-to-face. Paint swatches online, they give you a little bit of an idea. The best ones are you go into the art store and you actually see the paint swatches being done, or you can contact a company to see if they have paint swatches that they can send out for you that are actually hand painted. Those paint lines are a little bit more expensive because, it costs money to do that stuff. So the best way that you can do it is we're going to watch the video, keeping in mind that digital displays are not the same as doing the exercises. So you must do the exercises to completely understand what we're doing. But we're going to do create swatches with transparent yellow iron oxide and then do some mixes. Now I put white out here. White isn't, we're not using white to see the value string. We're using white to see the underlying color only. So I'm not going to do the full value string. We're going to start off with transparent yellow iron oxide here and here because we want to compare on both sides so that we don't have to compare from here to here. So transparent yellow iron oxide here and here. And then we're going to do the experiments here. And I'm using the Decor Traditions. So we're going to use a yellow that leans towards orange, a in-between yellow, Hansa yellow oxide, then our transparent yellow iron oxide, and then we have our white just for underlying color checking only. And I'm also going to be using water and the Decor Media Decor Media Matte Medium. I'm talking fast because it's getting cold in here. When I put the furnace on, I sneeze. Even though we've done filters galore and cleaning and vacuuming, I still sneeze. All right, so actually, let me put some of that out on the palette now. And what I've done on this side is I've got my Hansa Yellow Medium, Hansa Yellow Oxide, and Transparent Yellow Iron Oxide, my white, and then my medium. So I'm going to ask you a pop quiz question right off the bat. Why, when doing this buy versus DIY video on Transparent Yellow Iron Oxide, why is it counterproductive to use white in the mixes? Other than seeing the true underlying color, why would it be counterproductive using white? So in the comments below, what I want you to do is retype the question, because sometimes I'll ask more than one pop quiz and I don't know what you're answering. So retype the question, why is it counterproductive using white when DIYing transparent yellow iron oxide, and then post your answer. So first thing we're going to do, and we're going to make sure we blot our brush every single time because we don't want any unnecessary fluid in our brush. So I'm putting out just transparent yellow iron oxide. Let me push these out of the way because I'm getting a shadow. Transparent yellow iron oxide, as smooth as possible. I'm going to go slightly over the black line so you can see the transparency. All right. There and there. I love this color. There's only one color I love more than this, which is unfortunate that Decor is discontinuing or has discontinued transparent red iron oxide. Now that one I use when I do a lot of steampunk art, vintage art. I was using a lot with landscapes when I was doing plein air painting because it's a beautiful transparent reddish orange. All right, so now our experiment is going to be taking our limited palette, what we've learned so far, what we have so far, and trying to come close to something like this. So what I'm going to do now is, just so we can see the true underlying color, I'm going to take the transparent yellow iron oxide and I'm going to add a little bit of white. It's only to see the true underlying color. So we know what's in it. Yellow oxide and transparent yellow iron oxide are both done with PY42. So here's a second pop quiz question. If they're both made with PY42, why do they look so different? Well, there you go. So what I'm going to do with the first one is I'm going to take yellow oxide and thin it down. Makes sense, right? Transparent yellow iron oxide. Why don't we just add water to yellow oxide? Okay. Let's take yellow oxide, dip my brush in water, and just add water. Does it work? I'm not even going to bother adding white to that because it's not going to make a bit of difference. We want to compare to that. Well, that's going to have to dry for quite a bit. Well, what about if we took yellow oxide with medium? Okay. Medium. Yellow oxide. Remember that because we're trying to make something transparent, the white of the paper is showing through. So make sure that you're only doing these charts on white paper. If you're doing them on tinted paper, you're going to get something completely different because we have optical color mixing in play. That one looks close. It's a bit too transparent. I'm going to add a little bit more yellow oxide to that. Let's see what that looks like. What I like when using medium, it seems to smooth everything out because it's so thick. Okay, so now let's build on a lesson that we just did by brightening up yellow oxide. Yellow oxide is duller than transparent yellow iron oxide. It's, I mean, if I just take yellow oxide right here, it is duller. And it's also opaque. Just because we added water to this doesn't mean it's going to make it transparent. Too much water is going to weaken the pigment. That's why by adding the medium, it retains its strength. Because the water is not going to break down the pigment. But just by adding, because even just adding water or even the medium, you're taking something opaque and making it more semi-transparent. If we were to use more medium, you're actually going to change the value. Because you're making it so transparent, the white is going to show through, which is naturally going to make it lighter. So what if we thought of taking yellow oxide and making it a bit brighter? We'll do that, and then we're going to take that mixture and we're going to add medium to it to make it more transparent. So yellow oxide, make sure I do this in the right order. Yellow oxide with Hansa yellow medium. Whoopsie. Too much water in my brush. I didn't blot it. Okay. So now let's add, what are we going to do here? Let's add medium to the, I got to make sure I don't remember which one I'm working with. Medium in my dirty brush. I'm not going to add it to the mixture. Medium in my dirty brush. This is why using the white doesn't make that much of a difference. Ooh, this is really yellow. Wow. Huh. Okay. That is really yellow. Let me adjust that by going with a little bit more yellow oxide. Come down here. Okay, there we go. I added just a little bit too much Hansa yellow medium to that. Look at that. Look at this one. Okay. That's actually pretty, that's yellow oxide with less Hansa yellow. Is that Hansa yellow medium or Hansa yellow? Oh shoot, I've got these backwards. Hang on a second. This is Hansa yellow medium, and this is just going to be Hansa yellow. That's where I was confused. Gisele. Oh my God. Okay. Now I'm going to repeat the same exercise, taking yellow oxide, enhance a yellow. And let's do it down here. Okay, so I'm going to take a little less than equal parts. Okay. Squinting my eyes, it's the same hue, but it's more opaque than transparent yellow iron oxide compared to here. So if we add some medium, and I add just a little bit of medium, where's my mix here? Keeping in mind, Hansa yellow has less orange in it. It's more of a neutral. Yeah, nah. I am liking the Hansa yellow medium with the yellow oxide. I am really liking that. So now that we've done that, now I'm going to, you notice I didn't take white in my brush in any of these mixtures here, because you add white, you could destroy your mixture. So I'm going to take white in this one, which is right here. Rinse the brush. Take white and this one here. This is the Hansa yellow medium. Oops, I got water in my brush. And yeah, so these are the same. Okay, so we're good on that one. Yellow oxide with Hansa yellow medium is going to be my choice. That's going to be my choice. I love Hansa yellow oxide with Hansa yellow medium, but then adding medium to it to make it more transparent. I like that. I like that. This one here. And this one even more. So if you're looking at creating a transparent yellow iron oxide, if you don't have the pigment, and you want to make it more opaque, then just take yellow oxide and Hansa yellow medium. But then if you want to make it more transparent, closer to transparent yellow iron oxide, add medium to it. So my choice is yellow oxide and Hansa yellow medium, with the option of adding additional medium to it to increase the transparency. So now what I want to ask you is it worth buying or DIYing? That's completely up to you. If you're working with oils, I would say buy it because it'll last you for years. The transparent yellow iron oxide, it'll last you for years if you don't use it a lot. But it's now just another pigment that you have to maintain. If it's in acrylics, if you don't cap it right, it'll dry out, blah, 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 blah. It's always nice mixing it up yourself. That way you keep that knowledge in your brain. If you use it a lot, and I mean a lot, like every day, you may find it's worthwhile buying transparent yellow iron oxide just from the standpoint of saving time and to make sure you have consistency. When I say consistency, I mean having a straight transparent yellow iron oxide every single time when starting to paint. Whereas if you're mixing yourself, you will eventually know the ratios of what you're working with. It doesn't take much to shift it, but it's adding time to your painting. So if you were painting plein air, outdoors, and especially with acrylics, where even 30 seconds makes a huge difference on drying time if you're trying to work wet on wet. When I'm plein air painting in acrylics, I bring out transparent yellow iron oxide. I try to minimize my mixing in the field by bringing the colors already mixed. So, but if you're doing mixed media, doing something that's vintage, I would prefer mixing it myself. In the paintings that I'm doing now, because I'm doing the videos and I'm trying to save time, I do use transparent yellow iron oxide because it's a time savings. It's also not a expensive pigment to buy at all. Where you're going to run into trouble is if you mix it yourself, and you're doing that is great. And then when you go to buy, let's say you run out of, Handsy Yellow Medium and Yellow Oxide in the brand that you use. Let's say you end up having to go with a different brand. It could look different. So make sure you do your experimenting. And then again, anytime you buy a brand new paint you've never used, create your charts. That way you have it on record what the paint can and cannot do for you. Alrighty. So I asked a couple of pop quiz questions. Your homework assignment is going to be, now if you don't have transparent yellow iron oxide, that's fine. Your experiment is going to be taking whether you have yellow ochre or yellow oxide and doing a swatch of that with water, with medium. If you don't have medium, then nothing you can do about it. But then taking it yellow oxide or yellow ochre and mixing it with Handsy Yellow Medium, thinning it down, then Handsy Yellow, thinning it down, and to see what you're getting. So what you're looking for is a bright, transparent yellow iron oxide. You're looking for something bright. It cannot be dull, because then you're defeating the purpose of using transparent yellow iron oxide. All right. So this exercise isn't going to be for everyone. It's more of a challenge exercise. It's not going to be for everyone because it's totally dependent on you having something to compare to, which is the transparent yellow iron oxide. I'm going to start saying TYIO. That's easier. So if you have the paints, do the exercises. If not, do the best you can. Don't forget to post pictures in the community or over on Facebook. Facebook is where I'm hanging out for the course. That's where the majority of people are engaging. So we'll take care of you over there. As well, if you don't have a matte medium, like I'm using the matte medium here, you can use a gloss gel medium if you have that handy. And no, you cannot use varnish. It doesn't work that way. Varnish is a sealer, not a medium. All right. So I'm going to clean up and I'm going to prepare for the last challenge exercise, which is going to be a biggie. It's a big one. And it's also going to be educational, but it'll be really interesting what you can get with all the mixes that we're going to make. So until I see you in that lesson, stay inspired.